The galaxy had never seen a ruler like Empress Xyra of the Astralis Dominion, conqueror of 12 star systems, undefeated in battle, and rumored to crush entire fleets with a flick of her jeweled fingers. Her empire spanned light centuries. Her armies numbered in the trillions, and her power was absolute. Yet she was bored. Terribly, endlessly bored. Every challenger had fallen before her. Every rebellion had been crushed. Even her most loyal generals trembled at the mere thought of displeasing her. So one night, in the grand crystal halls of her citadel on the planet Lysara, she made an offhand remark that would echo through the stars. "If a human ever beats me," she said with a laugh, swirling her glowing chalice of nebula wine, "I'll marry him." The gathered nobles laughed, of course. Humans, frail, primitive creatures of a backwater planet, could barely lift a plasma blade, let alone challenge the Empress of Astralis. But the universe, as always, loves irony. The challenge years passed. Humanity joined the Galactic Accord, cautiously stepping into the wider cosmos. They were mocked, ignored, occasionally pitied. But they were also curious, determined, and impossible to fully subdue. Then came the Tournament of Empires, a decennial tradition where rulers and champions from across the galaxy competed for prestige and diplomatic favor. It was less a war and more a spectacle, part combat, part diplomacy, part politics. No one expected a human to enter until Commander Elias Ward arrived. He was tall by human standards, with sharp eyes the color of old steel and a soldier's posture that made even alien generals take notice. He had earned his title in the Mars Rebellion, leading impossible missions with impossible odds, the kind of man who made courage contagious. When he registered for the tournament, the court announcer stifled a laugh. Species? Human. Affiliation? Earth Defense Coalition. Objective? To challenge the Empress. The hall went silent. Even the recording droids paused, unsure whether to file it under comedy or suicide. First contact. The Empress watched the footage from her throne, a cascade of silver armor and flowing crimson energy surrounding her like a living storm. Her eyes, luminescent with violet fire, narrowed. A human dares challenge me? Her advisor, a crystalline being named Varine, inclined his many facets. A novelty, my Empress. Perhaps you might find it entertaining, she smirked. Entertaining, perhaps. I accept. And so it was declared. The human commander would face the Empress of Astralis in the final round of the tournament. The galaxy buzzed with anticipation. No one expected him to survive more than a minute. The preparation. For 3 days and 3 nights, Elias trained aboard his ship, the Resolute. The rest of the human delegation begged him to reconsider. "You can't seriously fight her," said Captain Lin, his second in command. "She commands gravitational fields. She could crush you with a thought." "Then I'll have to think faster," Elias replied simply. He wasn't arrogant. He just understood something the rest of the galaxy didn't. Strength wasn't only about power. It was about intent, and humans, fragile, reckless, relentless humans, had an unmatched will to survive. The Arena of Stars, the day of the duel arrived. The arena was suspended in orbit above Lysara, a vast sphere of transparent energy where stars shone on every side. The Empress entered first, descending on a floating platform of light. Her armor was liquid metal, flowing with radiant glyphs of power. Her eyes glowed like twin suns. When Elias stepped into the arena, he seemed almost plain by comparison. His armor was human steel, dented, practical, unadorned. He carried no grand energy weapon, only a modified kinetic rifle and a plasma blade at his side. The audience laughed. Even the commentators mocked, but the Empress did not laugh. She tilted her head, intrigued. "So the human came," she said, her voice echoing through the void. "Do you understand what you risk?" "I understand perfectly," Elias said.
Do you?
She smiled. "A dangerous, beautiful thing." "Begin." The duel. The first strike was hers. A wave of violet energy rippled outward, shattering asteroids, warping space itself. Elias dove aside, his armor groaning. He fired a burst of magnetic rounds, useless, of course. The Empress flicked her wrist, and the bullets dissolved mid-air. "You amuse me, little human," she said. "But amusement won't save you." Elias didn't respond. He was watching her, the way her energy flared before each attack, the slight delay between thought and motion. She was fast, yes, but not instantaneous. He needed only one mistake. The duel raged across the arena, light and shadow, fury and precision. Every time she struck, he adapted. Every time she predicted his movement, he surprised her. It wasn't power that kept him alive. It was strategy, honed from a lifetime of fighting wars humans were never supposed to win. Finally, she decided to end it. Raising her hand, she drew upon the heart of a dying star, a blast of pure gravitational collapse, enough to erase him from existence. Elias looked up at the swirling mass of light and whispered, "Now." At that moment, his ship's AI, orbiting above, activated a pulse, a human invention no alien race had yet understood. A null field generator, it disrupted not energy, but intention, the quantum link between thought and manifestation. The Empress's power faltered for a fraction of a second. A fraction was enough. Elias charged, closing the distance, sliding beneath her guard. His blade met her armor, not to kill, but to cut through the emitter crystal at her side, the focus of her godlike control. The field collapsed. The energy storm died. Silence filled the arena. The Empress stared at him, wide-eyed, her power momentarily gone. He stood over her, breathing hard, blade at her throat, but not striking. "Yield," he said quietly. No one had ever spoken that word to her before. For a long, terrible moment, she said nothing. Then softly she laughed, and not with mockery, but wonder. "I yield," the crowd gasped. Across the galaxy, entire civilizations froze in disbelief. The Empress of Astralis, undefeated, eternal, had been beaten by a human. Aftermath, the duel ended. Elias became a legend overnight. Reporters flooded him with questions. Politicians offered him alliances. Admirals begged him to return to Earth. But he was thinking of her. The Empress had disappeared from public view. Rumors spread. Some said she was plotting revenge, others that she had retreated into exile. Then one night, a transport ship appeared beside the Resolute. A single message came through. Dinner. When Elias arrived, she was waiting. No armor this time, only a flowing gown of starlight and shadow. She looked different. Still regal, still impossibly beautiful, but human in a way he hadn't expected. "You kept your word," he said. "I always do," she replied. "Though I didn't expect to." They dined beneath a dome of transparent crystal, overlooking the planetary rings. For a while, neither spoke. Finally, she asked, "How did you do it? How did you beat me?" Elias smiled faintly. "You fight like a goddess, but you think like one too. Meaning? You assume power always wins. Humans don't." She considered that, fingers brushing the rim of her glass. "And now? Do you expect me to keep my jesting vow?" "I don't expect anything," he said. "But I'll admit, it's not every day a man's offered marriage by an empress." She studied him for a long time, long enough for the stars to shift. Then softly, "Perhaps the universe enjoys irony." The bond in the weeks that followed, she visited him often. Officially for diplomacy. Unofficially for something neither would name. They sparred, verbally, intellectually, occasionally even physically. Every meeting became a duel of wits and will. For the first time in her life, she was not bored. He challenged her, not with power, but with perspective. He spoke of Earth, of oceans, storms, and fragile lives that burned bright because they were brief. She showed him the grandeur of her empire, worlds sculpted from nebulae, living suns, cities where time itself bent, and somewhere between argument and admiration, the impossible happened. They fell in love. The marriage of stars. When their union was announced, half the galaxy protested. It was scandalous, an empress marrying a mortal, and a human at that. The other half adored it, seeing it as a symbol of unity. The ceremony took place aboard the celestial throne, orbiting between their two worlds. Delegates from 1,000 species attended. Elias stood in formal human dress uniform. Xyra wore a gown that shimmered like the cosmos itself. "Do you, Elias, Ward of Earth, swear to stand beside me, not as subject but as equal?" "I do." "And do you, Xyra of Astralis, swear to see through mortal eyes, to share your eternity with one who will not live forever?" "I do." When they touched hands, light erupted across the stars, a fusion of human will and alien power. For the first time in history, two empires became one not through conquest, but through love. Epilogue. The promise years later, long after their marriage had become legend, a young cadet asked the Empress a question during a public audience. "Your Majesty," the cadet said nervously, "is it true you once said you'd marry any human who could defeat you?" Xyra smiled, her violet eyes softening. "I did. Do you regret it?" She looked toward Elias, standing beside her, older now, gray at the temples, but still with that same steady fire in his eyes. "Regret?" she said softly. "No, I made a promise to the stars, and the stars sent me the only man who could keep it." And somewhere deep in the galaxy, as two empires thrived together, the universe, vast, ancient, and ever ironic, smiled back.